Hi Capricorn, this is your October 2025 soul story. If you have a sun, rising, or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. Really appreciate you. Okay, we're going to open up for you this month with the Princess of Cups. Do you know, I think October is going to help you to land. And after perhaps a little bit of the chaos, the turmoil, the uncertainty, the void energy that you may have been navigating through the summer in the last few weeks, this is an opportunity to find some perspective. I think you're all about trying to find peace. You're all about trying to express it and pursue it. And in a way, it's almost like even through the course of your day, all the way through the month of October, you're like actively seeking out these moments of just like, okay, what do I need to do to just switch off, to detach, to just kind of find my center again? And it's so important. And it just feels like when it becomes like a really intrinsic part of your routine, you really start to kind of witness and see the major changes that have been taking place for you. Now, you know, we're in this 10th house energy, and there are like these major shifts that are happening for you in terms of your career and your reputation, and so much is being activated. And, you know, there's a realization that you just don't want to betray yourself anymore. You know, you don't want to run away from the things that are calling you. Now, we open up October with the asteroid goddess energies. Juno is shifting into Sagittarius on the 1st, and Pallas Athena is going direct in Aquarius on the 4th. What are they telling us? They are saying we are seeking freedom, and we are seeking to do things in our own way, on our own terms. And so you will definitely be in a place, I think, of wanting to renegotiate. What's become clear is that, you know, the discomfort that you have felt, and maybe that you are still feeling to a certain extent, doesn't stay, but that the strength, the wisdom, the experience that has been shaped from it, well, that is staying around. And, you know, we have the Seven of Wands. It's reminding you that you shouldn't be in an energy of justification. You need to be aware of where there's too much of an apologetic frequency coming forth from you. You need to stand up for and fight for what you know is the right way and the right, the right position to hold. Okay, don't betray yourself. It just feels like a really important message. Like everything is your teacher right now. Okay, know thyself, so you do not absorb when everyone else's projections upon you, their definitions of who they think you are really taking seed and taking root. Okay, so Mercury shifts into Scorpio on the 6th, and there's this kind of deliberate focus that we give to start communicating in a way that, you know, is allowing for change and transformation. We give ourselves permission and others to show up as somebody new, somebody different, with a changing perspective, you know. And I think that we have to give ourselves and others the permission for that rebirth, which is absolutely underway, to really be given the time and the space. And, you know, October for me just feels like the energy that we would have expected September to deliver, right? It's just a little bit more grounded. It feels like you've got a bit more focus around you. You will overcome the challenges that, you know, continue to sort of pervade around you. And you'll feel like you're a little bit more on the front foot this month also. High Priestess is the reminder that you need to be trusting in what you are thinking, regards especially to a very specific situation as we approach the full moon in Aries on the 6th of the month. Mercury is squaring Pluto, so there's a bit of tension in terms of the communication, the messages that we receive, and the need for things to transform. It's like you're saying the words of like, no more, I can't do it like this anymore. Like, this has to change is probably the key phrase. Like, this has to change. And that might be something in yourself, or it might be something that, you know, you are a part of or connected to. There will be a lot of passion and fire that's coming with that. This is an Aries full moon after all. And we are ready to transmute, to burn, to clear. You know, you are summoning strength, and you are summoning knowledge, and you are doing it in a way that's very purposeful, and also really, I think, honors the fact that your connection with your own higher self and the guides that you have and the soul call that is working with you, is really being understood and embraced and accepted. Now, yes, we still have days of doubt, okay? It's just part of the journey, okay? But what I do want to say to you is please hold your judgment, okay? Particularly around that lead up to the full moon and the day after, okay? So it might just be that something gets kind of blown up a little bit. So hold your judgment until just things settle somewhat. Even as soon as the 8th, Venus and Jupiter are coming together, and it just feels like it kind of makes sense, and you can almost clear it away, and it doesn't have to have like a longevity connected to it. But the Tower just does feel like it's bringing something and building something to like a crescendo around that powerful fire moon, okay? Remember, Aries is also a cardinal sign like you, and therefore the language of that full moon is like driving you toward taking action with something, okay? But we almost have to wait until we know for sure and really with certainty that the action that we're about to take is for our highest good. It's going to be the right thing for us, okay? Not just from a kind of a powerful emotive response that might have been triggered, okay? So just keep that in mind. But the Tower, I think, can be beneficial because what it also does is it sort of cracks open an energy that felt really dense and heavy and maybe a little bit impenetrable. And an emotional energy flows from that. So it may be that somebody finally opens up, somebody finally cracks. You kind of get to see what was being hidden or what was not being really truthfully presented to you in some way, shape, or form. And that feels like you already had an inkling, you already had a knowing, okay? But at the same token, there's also this... you don't let anything that comes up through the course of October influence you to the degree that you are distracting yourself away from what you know is your purpose and your mission in this month. So whatever that focus has been, whatever that priority is as you enter into October, stay the course with it, okay? There definitely may be some things that come through by way of revelations that sort of stop you in your tracks a little bit and maybe kind of have you wanting to like go off in a different direction or take time to kind of explore something else. That's all well and good, but just make sure that it's not to the detriment and it's not in this place of like betraying yourself and kind of feeling that super strong. So the 8th is harmonious. It brings things together and feels like it puts them back into an order that sort of makes sense to you and that you feel like you can work with and promote something that can feel a bit more optimistic and positive. We then have Venus actually in a series of supportive encounters. It's shifting into Libra on the 13th, where it loves to be. And then on the 14th, it's trining with both Uranus and Pluto. So it kind of feels like, the love language, which was sort of beautifying, romanticizing, falling back into kind of rhythm and step with something, and also like almost kind of embracing and welcoming the changes, even if they come in suddenly and unexpectedly, okay? Pluto also stations direct on the 13th. So there's this kind of bigger shake-up that's sort of happening, but we're almost like returning to a knowing and a kind of like, yeah, we need to get back on track and this is what needs to happen. That's why I'm sort of saying October feels more like September in that kind of back on track, back to the focus, back to the things that, you kind of realize, need to be dealt with, like need to get your energy and your attention. And here's the thing, like where you're landing in October, like there's still an awareness that you have to like take care of some stuff this month, okay? And I think that's going to feel quite powerful for you in October. You're just like, I've got to deal with this. Your Queen of Wands, just for me, is like a fantastic ally to have because she's making you feel motivated and passionate. She's also not suffering any fools, you know? Like there's definitely this kind of intentionality with her where she's calling it as she sees it. There's an honesty and a directness, but her heart is on her sleeve, and she's just like giving this kind of impassioned plea of just like, this is what needs to happen. This is what it's going to take. This is what we have to do. And, you know, as that illuminates both your 10th and 11th house, it hugely impacts like the people around you, especially that you are connected to from a work and a purpose perspective, but also the group, society, community, your friendships even. And, you know, you're bringing in a warmth and an engagement with this that very much shakes the status quo a little bit, but also kind of brings in this reminder of like the value of things, you know, like how important it is to protect and keep sacred and take care of. Okay, I feel like that's super strongly as you come through that kind of Venusian energy mid-month. It builds up to what I feel is one of the you know, the important and, you know, powerful new moons that we're having, because this more stabilizing energy that I feel in October in terms of your energy brings about a renewal in terms of what you're trying to manifest and set forth for yourself, right? And again, it's 10th house for you, so this career aspirations, the things you're passionate about, you know, it's almost like I won't forgive myself if I don't attempt or try or look to move in the direction of this. It's sort of like a, okay, it's now or never. Like there's something that's shifted so substantially in your world in terms of how you see things and actually how you see yourself. I almost have you going like, this is the life that I want, you know, the vision that you have at that kind of new moon. It's like, this is what I want. And this is what I'm going to now work towards wholeheartedly, fully, all in. Because do you know what? Like you've now got this awareness of how the universe has sort of dealt you new cards, has sort of shaken things up and stirred them around and sort of, you know, put you back where you were, but with all of this new information and this new understanding and this kind of breadth of, you know, kind of energetic kind of awareness that now has to be sort of deployed in sort of what happens next. Like everything is your teacher. And this is leading you towards a very new and actually really powerful chapter. Now, right after that new moon in Libra, Neptune is retrograde back into Pisces, right? It's already been retrograde in Aries, so it shifts sign back into Pisces. Saturn's also there, remember. So now we are finishing something up. So it's almost like before that vision can take hold of this is the life I want, we're returning to something that we'd already been working on and that, you know, we'd made some inroads, but perhaps there's something additional that needs to be dealt with. Now, there's a bit of conflict going on here. There's actually quite a sort of building frustration energy through the mid part of your read here. So, you know, you might be coming up against some resistance in terms of what it is that you're trying to do, you know, from those around you. It may feel like, you know, there's a few things that kind of feel like they're blowing up around you, and the changes have to happen in order for you to find that freedom and to be able to bring things back around on your terms. Remember, there's like a renegotiation that's kind of taking place, but at the core, at the heart, at the root of it is definitely this deep desire from you to want to have this, you know, energy of peace, this pursuit of peace, and, you know, the things that you're putting in place to ensure that that happens. You've got a major new perspective though. And so as that Neptune, you know, energy shifts sign and you come back into an awareness of something, you're like, okay, here we are. Like, I know what you are. I know what this is about. I know what it's asking of me. And I know how I need to show up in regards to this. So there's not any confusion with it. It's just literally the acceptance of what needs to be finished up. But there, within it seems to be that there is some sort of conflict and challenge that is resurfacing, that is kind of creating that contrast. And, you know, in a way, the challenges that we've got with the 5 and the 7 are just really like driving a focus with you through the course of October. You know, I'm going to say to you, it feels to me that other people could be quite argumentative with you. I don't think you're the one that's initiating or instigating this, Capricorn. I just feel like whatever it is in terms of the change in your energy or your focus, your priorities, how you're expressing yourself, it's almost like it's riling people up. And, you know, perhaps that's because you're changing and they don't want you to change, or, you know, something is being affected in terms of their, you know, comfort zone or sense of security and stability. So be mindful of that. And as you come into Scorpio season in the second half of October, remember the veil is always at its thinnest this time of year as we approach Samhain. But in 11th house, again, this stirring up energy of the groups, the people that you're connected around, but also this lighting up of your hopes, dreams, ambitions, desires, and just kind of recentering. There's a beautiful sense of recentering coming through for you. And please remember, like I said, the discomfort is temporary, but you are gaining things that you're absolutely going to need for this next chapter that comes from the wisdom and the strength and the experience of it, okay? You may have a female energy that's kind of just being a little off, or just kind of, you know, lashing out a little bit. There may be something going on that you're not quite aware of, but toward the end of the month, it feels like it does get revealed. It's still perhaps your choice as to whether you know, decide to respond in whatever way you think is fit. All I'm going to say to yourself, all I'm going to say to you rather, is again, you know, don't betray yourself. Like, don't check out on the things that are important and a priority for you, okay? There's always going to be a distraction. There's always going to be someone or something that needs your help, energy, attention. And if you let it, they'll keep flowing in one after the next, after the next, after the next. And before you know it, you've been distracted so long that you're missing opportunities, you're missing, you know, doors that are opening for you, pathways that are clearing for you, inspiration that is flowing to you, okay? So it's a very symbolic time of really kind of coming back in and listening to, what am I being asked to do right now? What am I being asked to focus on and prioritize, okay? If you're new to the channel, the last 3 cards we're going to look at in my extended reading talk for another 25 minutes or so. You'll find a link in the comment and description box underneath. We'll also look at a personal and a relationship card for you as well. So if you are resonating and you're in a position to do so, it really supports the channel and helps me to keep showing up for the free readings. So thank you so much. We're just going to clarify this and see the direction we're going to take things for that reading. 4 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, love that for you. About the 7 of Wands, we've got the Devil showing up, 6 of Cups, High Priestess, 10 of Swords. Please check out RomyWiser.com if you're interested in a personal reading with me. You'll find all of my offers along with my sacred titles, my deck, my book, my journal, and all of the reports that I offer, as well as a link to my blog, and you'll hear what I'm up to right now in my own spiritual journey and the healing retreat, the in-person healing retreat that I'm hosting in October 2026, a year from now, in the island. So that's RomyWiser.com. You'll find the links below. Okay. Right, we are going to take a look at Life Soul Vision. So this is my Oracle deck, and let's see what we've got. Labyrinth of Sweet Surrender. We've got Nourish Your Inner Wealth. We have Heart Energy, Gratitude and Growth. Spirit Owl, Sacred Secrets. We've got the Collective Heart. Maverick of the Light, Dancer of the Shadows. Beautiful. And we're going to pull one more oracle for you, Capricorn. What do we have here? Hydra. Catalyst. Okay, we'll explore that constellation in the extended. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. Enjoy the month of October. I'm going to see you again next time. Take good care.